In this section, we'll look at soil and soil resources, but we'll begin by looking at the foundation of soil, which are the rock cycle. The first thing we need to look at is what is soil, and it's the very, very thin uppermost layer of the Earth's crust. And again, it's formed from that rock-based parent material, is what it's called, after weathering processes. And those weathering processes, we'll get into those a little bit with this rock cycle, could be chemical or physical weathering processes. So what are these types of parent material? They could be rocks, they could be minerals. And the difference between a rock and a mineral is a specific element or an inorganic compound that occur naturally in the Earth's crust. These are things that you probably maybe heard of in chemistry, like calcium carbonate, magnesium sulfate, aluminum sulfates, aluminum silicates, or they could be just basically ores like gold ore or copper ores or things like that. Rocks are usually a combination of one or more minerals that are found in the crust. So rocks are a combination, and those combinations can vary in composition. So you might have, even though you might have a sedimentary rock, it might have different types of minerals within that sedimentary rock. So let's go over the different types of rocks. This is, again, probably something you've had from way long ago in elementary school, probably. Sedimentary rocks are made up when dead plant and animal remains get weathered and eroded, and they usually are going to move downhill by either wind or water, gravity, and those layers accumulate over time. So you have a layer of maybe plant material, you've got a layer of rock material, you've got another layer, and these increase in weight and pressure. The increasing weight and pressure then convert it to rock over a long time. Some examples of these would be sandstone, shale, something called dolomite, that's a type of lime, limestone, lignite, and bituminous coal. Lignite and bituminous are both types of coal that we'll learn about later when we talk about energy. A second type of rock are igneous, and you remember these are formed from magma or lava. These are formed on the Earth's surface when magma rises and then it cools and hardens. Some examples would be granite, which is formed underground, so that is really just part of like the magma hardening. Lava rock, which is formed above the ground. Pumice and basalt, two of them other very common types of igneous rock. The igneous rock actually formed most of the Earth's crust, since everything really essentially comes from that hot molten core, but a lot of times they're going to be covered up by sedimentary rocks. The third type are metamorphic, and here's where you have pre-existing rocks, so either igneous or sedimentary rock, and they're subjected to high temperatures, pressures, some sort of maybe chemical activity, or a combination of things. And here the rock is then transformed, and it actually reshapes its internal structure. So whenever that internal structure gets reshaped, that actually changes the physical properties and oftentimes the appearance of the rock itself. So an example would be slate, and slate is formed whenever shale and a type of stuff called mudstone are kind of heated together. So whenever shale gets warm and has this additional part of this mudstone, then you get slate being formed. Marble is a mixture of really essentially just limestone. Limestone not very valuable. Marble, you're going to pay a lot more for that. Whenever it's exposed to heat and pressure. Gneiss and quartzite are two other types of metamorphic rocks. The other thing you should know about are the rock cycle, and you can kind of look at this graphic. We start here with the igneous rock formed from volcanic activity, or igneous that are formed from magma that are underneath the earth. And those, when they at some point cool, then those rocks undergo weathering, and they're transported and deposited. And this word lithification just means that they're separated into layers, and that forms sedimentary rock. When those sedimentary rock become sort of buried essentially, and again that pressure and heat, then you can get the metamorphic rock. Notice that there's also some other parts of this that you could have, like the igneous becoming metamorphic here too. The metamorphic, then once they are subject to a lot of heat and pressure and get deep within the Earth's crust, then they're going to revert back to magma. So you should be familiar with the rock cycle and the different types of rocks, because those are the base of our types of soil that we begin with.